expect.
He had 24 goals last season.
Yeah.
24. He has 5. He has 1 goal in Champions League.
Remember how we all thought last season kind of cured him of the inconsistency bug that kind of followed him around, that cloud that's been following him around most of his career? I agreed. I thought it was done. I thought, okay, the guy's found his form. He's figured out maybe it's a different style of training, or maybe he's eating something different before matches. He's figured out a way to be a bit more incisive in front of goal. But now having it come back really makes you wonder if he's someone that you can really trust year in and year out.
We have milk cartons because we're keeping it dark on Morning Footy Day. Back in the day, you know, they used to post like the missing persons on the back of a milk carton.
Yeah, just enjoy your breakfast cereal while you see a child that's missing.
This is a play on that.
Charlie's getting milk cup. Yeah. Milk cup.
There is actually milk in these.
Yeah, don't pour it on your head, Charlie.
Don't do that. But Charlie, I think you're gonna kick us off here. So who is your player gone missing? Reveal. You've got to reveal. You got to make it dramatic too.
Ollie Watkins is missing, and you know a lot has to do with the expectations now, given that Ollie Watkins has delivered for the past 2 seasons in the Premier League and has continued to climb up the pecking order for England, maybe the number 2 to Harry Kane, right? And you could have arguments that he should be able to play, but this season, with the emergence of John Duran, who has 1 start. Right, coming in, 15 appearances, only has 1 start, John Duran. So he's coming 5 goals. That puts pressure on a player. And for Ollie Watkins, when I watch him play, there's a lot of hesitation. There's a lot of second guessing himself, and the loss of confidence is evident because he's missing sitters, and he's passing at the wrong time. He's passing when he should shoot. He's shooting when he should pass. It's the decision making that's clouded, and that all comes when a player is feeling the pressure, when the expectations are too high, that sometimes you start to let that get the better of you. And I think his emotions are a little tied up into that. When you have a player who's sitting behind you and starting to creep and starting to get some of that limelight, that plays into your psyche. And so I see that with Ollie Watkins. In Champions League, 0 goals. 0 goals. That's not good enough if you're a striker for Aston Villa who's trying to achieve Champions League every year, trying to achieve going for trophies. So against the top 5 teams, in 43 appearances, he has 14 goals. And you say, oh, that might be good. But in the last 10 games in all competitions, he only has 2. And I think that is a real result of lack of confidence. So that's the one player that I'm going to single out as he's been missing given what Aston Villa need him to do.
Okay, that's fair. Sal, you're up.
I got Douglas Luiz.
Ooh, big money signing.
Yeah, so Juventus, they pay $50 million for him, right, from Aston Villa. Okay, he's basically played in, I think it's 9 games total, 7 in Serie A, 2 in Champions League. He's given away 2 pens, no goals, no assists. Central midfielder. I mean, he now is going through a little bit of an injury that no one really knows what's up with him. He was on the bench for a Champions League game but didn't go in, like in the middle of his injury. So that now there's like reports of him, you know, teams in England being interested in him. Is he going to go back to England? You know, now there's reports maybe he's playing in the Champions League game in the next couple days. So it's a weird one for me. You know, luckily, right, for Juventus, they have so many central midfielders that have done well. Locatelli, Thuram, Weston McKennie, and Koopmeiners. Who Koopmeiners, you know, hasn't got off to. There's another Atalanta player that was crushing it at Atalanta, goes to Juventus. He scores his first goal for Juventus this weekend. So could he start going a little bit? Yeah, it could have been him, to be honest. But yeah, it's just a weird one for Douglas Luiz, someone who I would expect if you're paying $50 million for, you know, he's going to be in your plans. So I'm not completely giving up on him. I think there's still some time for him to make an influence. And I think
someone will find him.
Yeah, someone will find him, and whether it be someone in Turin will find him. Yeah, there you go.
Call 1-800 CBS Sports Golazo.
All right, Alexis, you're up.
All right, I've got. In fact, I want everyone to put on their world-class player goggles because even if I turn this around, you still ain't gonna see it. because this is Phil Foden. What happened, Phil Foden? Remember when everyone was talking about you were a world-class player?
I love that you're like
that.
addressing him. This is great.
Bro, you're supposed to be...
Come home to us,
Phil
Phil
Foden
Foden.
was supposed to be the best player in England, possibly Europe. What happened, bro? Where you been? A couple weeks ago, windowless van must have showed up outside your house because you've gone missing, man. Last season, look at this, 19 goals, 8 assists, shots on target, 48. This season, if I could whistle, I would have birds chirping right now because there's nothing happening. And oh my God, last season we heard so much about Phil Foden prefers to be central. He wants to be the 10. He wants to play in the middle. Bro, you're getting a chance and you done diddly squat with it, man. You haven't done a goddamn thing. Pep Guardiola is trying to find ways to make this team play better. You're supposed to be one of those players that he can lean on, and you've gone missing, bruh. Like milk in my house after my wife found out, it gave me the farts. It's gone. You need to figure it out. Phil Foden, if you want to be a world-class player, you want to be the best player in the world, you got to perform when you're asked. If you got Kevin De Bruyne out, you got Rodri gone, you got a whole, you're clear, you got a whole space right at the top of the D, the top of the box is all yours, buddy. You got to do something with it. You ain't done nothing. Kind of like if you hand me a vacuum, I won't even know how it works.
Started at the Euros. Didn't even have a goal or an assist in the Euros.
Nothing.
Nothing.
He has scored in
Southgate ruined
Champions
him.
League against Sporting when you lost and against Sparta Prague. Well, congratulations.
Oh, man.
You scored against Sparta Prague.
I kind of like how you just turned that segment on its head by addressing him directly.
Bro, someone
Like,
is talking to me.
Phil,
I know he ain't doing nothing right now.
Come home.
Yeah, I know you ain't.
Come home.
He's about to get clapped.
That was incredible.
Clapped by the Man City fan.
Take it easy. Buy me a drink first.
Not that.
All right.
Please, don't drink the milk.
My subject that's gone missing is one Lautaro
That photo says it all.
Martinez. He doesn't even look happy in that photo,
No.
does he? He's like, I know that I'm missing. I know that I am underperforming this series. He only has 5 goals. This is the last season's leading goal scorer in Serie, and he has 5 goals and 2 assists. He is missing chances that in previous seasons he would bury. And it's almost like there's a dejection. You see his body language, the shoulder slump, a lack of confidence, which is so strange. But it's weird because when you think about his performances from last season and then what he was able to do with Argentina in Copa America and these big performances, it doesn't make sense this season. I had such high expectations for him to build on a successful last season and what he's done for country. It's puzzling. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on Inter a little bit, right? And I think if Inter wants to win this Scudetto, he's a guy that needs to improve. Obviously, Thuram up top has taken a lot of the burden and done really well for Inter up top, but for sure, they need more out of him if they expect
He had
to keep going.
24 goals last season.
Yeah.
24. He has 5. He has 1 goal in Champions League.
Remember how we all thought last season kind of cured him of the inconsistency bug that kind of followed him around, that cloud that's been following him around most of his career? I agreed. I thought it was done. I thought, okay, the guy's found his form. He's figured out maybe it's a different style of training or maybe he's eating something different before matches. He's figured out a way to be a bit more incisive in front of goal. But now having it come back really makes you wonder if he's someone that you can really trust year in and year out.
He's doing it for Argentina, which is also a change. So
Yeah,
That's probably
it
the
would
biggest
make
change.
sense that he would take it up a notch, given that he's now having success with the national
But he
team.
struggled with Argentina at times too, right? In the World Cup.
Before, yeah, absolutely.